Home athletes, hello. Can you believe it's Friday already? Well, it is. Weekend is right around the corner, so you have that to look forward to. But prior to that, you got today's workout. You're going to love it. We're looking at three rounds for time, right? So I have an open-ended clock running. See how long it takes you to do all this work. 3 rounds, very easy rep scheme. We have 4 different movements, 30 reps of each one. 4 times 30, 30, 30, 30. Got it. We have, what do we have? Dumbbell power snatch. We have standing broad jumps. We have some dumbbell rows and some reverse lunges. So we got a good mixture of midline, legs, upper body, got it all. So what do you need today? You just need a single dumbbell, right? Single dumbbell. Hopefully you have one of those by now. We'll talk about weights in a moment. So let me run through the movements for you. I'm going to demonstrate. I got my handy, huge 15-pound dumbbell here. Dumbbell snatches, right? This is a jumping, explosive movement. We want a lot of speed on this one. We want to make sure our belly stays nice and tight throughout. We do these once a week or so. It's a great full body movement. Supports the legs, hips, core, shoulder, the whole deal. Dumbbell starts on the floor right between the feet, right? I'll demonstrate from the side first, right? We kind of send those hips back and down, right? We're not doing a deadlift here. We want to kind of keep the hips down, the chest up, because we are jumping straight up, right? We're getting a lot of speed on the way up. After we jump, right, then we pull that elbow up nice and high. This keeps the weight close to the body. And then we simply punch it up overhead. So it's going from the ground to overhead in one big quick movement. Right back down to the ground. We're going to switch hands every single rep. Left hand or right hand. Make sure those heels are driving down into the floor, right? Don't let the weight come forward onto the toes. Heels down all the time. So you're doing 30 dumbbell snatches. Then I got some standing broad jumps in there for you, 30 reps right here. So prior to the workout, I mean, you can measure these out or not, just eyeball them. I usually measure at about 6 feet when I do these, and I basically just jump from one side, turn around, and come back again. So I'm doing 6 feet at a time. You do something that's challenging to you, but something you actually can do for 30 reps. So it could be 3 feet, 4 feet, 6 feet, whatever. We're loading up those hips, also using those shoulders, right? Let's go ahead and swing those arms up. This helps create elevation. You got your 2 points on the floor. Hips up, big jump. Land, turn, and repeat. Big jump. Kind of similar to the snatch movement. We want to open up the hips as we jump and then swing those feet out in front. Great movement. Surprisingly challenging. Yeah, so you're going to get your heart rate up on those. Then we got some single dumbbell rows. So this is kind of more strength work for the upper back. Really good for your posture. 2 options here. If you have a heavy dumbbell, if you have one heavy dumbbell, you're going to use 2 hands on it. We're going to bend over, keep that back nice and flat. We're going to use that one dumbbell to do 30 rows with because it's heavy, right? If you only have a light dumbbell, let's go do one hand at a time. We'll do 15 on each side. So for this one, similar idea, we're going to bend over. You're just going to let this free hand rest easy on the knee, I should say. We're just going to pull and pull. So because it's a little bit lighter, we'll just use one arm at a time. Do 15 reps on one side, 15 reps on the other, right? Really works that upper back. And then we're going to finish each round with 30 reverse lunges, working the lower half of our body a little bit. So just standing in one spot, right? Keep the chest up, standing nice and tall. Step back, tap the knee, stand back up. So when we do lunge, we want to focus on the front leg doing all the work, right? So I'll step back on my right, tap the knee. I've got a nice upright torso, relatively vertical shin here. I want to drive that left foot into the floor, stand all the way up, then bring that right foot forward, right? So you want that one leg to do all the work to bring your full body up. This is why lunges are such a potent exercise, because what you're doing here is you're basically using this one leg to bring your whole body weight up to a standing position before that other leg comes up. So it's going to work that backside. It's going to work those quads. Whole leg, hip action. Lunges are awesome. All right, that's enough talking. Let's get you warmed up. So for the warm-up, I would like you, if possible, if you have a PVC or a broomstick or something like this would be great. You can also use something like a belt or a piece of rope or a stretchy band if you ever got one of those. And then also, actually that's it, that's all you need. So something like this. Let me get my timer going. We're going to do 3 rounds of 3 different movements, 30 seconds each. Let me get my timer going. Here we go. So our first movement, we're actually going to use that PVC. I don't know why I put it down. So you either got your belts or your PVC or whatever. We have a wide grip, elbows are straight. We're starting at the front of the hips. We're going to shrug those shoulders up and over, bring down back to the hips, just like that. All we're doing here is just loosening up our shoulders. You get a nice little stretch of the chest too that comes back behind. I know I can feel that. So a great shoulder loosener here. And let's keep on doing this. Nice and slow. Loosening up those shoulders. Keep going. You got 5 more seconds. We don't need those for the next one. All right, we're going to warm up the lunges now. So let's just go forward lunges to start. Hands on hips or wherever you want to put them. Step it out, tap the knee, drive it back. Let's try to keep that front shin relatively vertical. And by that, we don't want that front knee driving forward too much. I mean, if it's kind of like over your shoelaces, that's fine. But if it's kind of like driving out past where your toe is, that's too far forward. So we lunge, we step it out, drop it straight down, take a quick look, vertical shin, good to go. All right, 5 more seconds. All right, so the next 30 seconds, we're going to do a simple run in place, right? Demonstrating from the side. We're just focusing on pulling those heels up towards your butt, staying in place. You keep doing it while I talk. I've mentioned this before, this is actually really good practice for proper running technique. Because when we run, we often see people swinging those feet out in front. They're doing the heel striking thing, get a lot of impact. Rather, when we run, we should run much like you're doing now, focusing on pulling those heels up towards the hips. Right? Nice and light, kind of staying more on the balls of the feet. Staying nice and light as we go. What do we got now? Let's go lateral lunges this time. So we're going to go nice wide stance, and we're going to lunge or squat, whatever you want to call this, from side to side. Right? We're getting a little lateral movement here. Ideally, that foot underneath you stays flat on the floor, and we're sitting down nice and low, or as low as we can. Get a nice little stretch down the inside of that extended leg. You keep going. You got 15 more seconds for our lateral lunges. Ideally, kind of sitting down a little bit lower each time as we go. Kind of loosening up the hips here, of course. 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, next little thing I'm going to have you do to get your heart rate up a little bit, jumping jacks. Let's go 30 seconds of good old-fashioned, old-school jumping jacks. Go. Just like you used to do in 3rd grade. It's kind of an underrated movement. I love jumping jacks. Hits shoulders, hits hips, get that heart rate up a little bit. Whole purpose of a warm-up is to get your heart rate up a little bit, get your breathing, and kind of raise your core temperature, right? So that's kind of what we're doing right now. All those things and more. All right, we're going to run through this again. So let's go back to our PVCs right here. So we're going, belts or whatever you have. Let's do this a second time. Make sure the shoulders are getting nice and warmed up. Bringing it through. If you can, if this is super easy for you, maybe try walking those hands in a little bit closer. See how that feels, right? People with really mobile shoulders can go pretty narrow. People with tight shoulders, like me, can only go, so narrow. Keep working on that. We have 10 seconds. All right. Let's go ahead and practice our reverse lunges like we're going to do the workout, right? So we practice these for 30 seconds. Again, we're trying to not lean forward too much, right? Stay nice and upright. Step it back, vertical chin, bring it back, feet back together, and repeat. Gently tapping that back knee to the ground each rep, and using that front leg to drive us all the way up, right? Let's try to really focus on using that leg that's in the front to bring our full body weight up. That's where we get the challenge. That's where we get the extra strength, right? Because we're all trying to get fitter, faster, stronger. So try to do all these movements just right to get as much as we can out of them. Where are we at? All right, so we're going to finish up 30 seconds of burpees. This is the only burpees you're going to do today. I don't expect you to go real fast. Again, we're trying to warm it up. All right, so 30 seconds here. Again, let's not go too fast right now. Bring those feet in. Get a little jump, just like that. Get a few more in. You got about 20 seconds here. Not real fast. At your own pace. Get a few reps in. This will finish up our warm-up. Got 10 more seconds. 5 more, maybe another burpee. 3, 2, 1. All right, that is your warm-up complete, guys. So what do you need? You need your dumbbell. You need to see your spaces marked out for the jumps if you want to do that. You don't have to necessarily mark them out. And you need to get your timer going, and then you need to get your workout done. All right. Have fun with this one, guys. Any questions, send me an email, text, whatever. Have a great weekend. Talk to you on Monday. No, wait. In case you hadn't noticed, I started doing a Saturday workout for our home athletes last week. I'll do it again this week. So if you are at home, it's Saturday, you're like, man, I really want to work out. Check it out. I'll have one for you. All right.